Good evening everyone, welcome to TGB1 Season 30. This is week 4 for Canada and France. Well then, the championship has held up nicely in the first 6 rounds of the season, and only 2 points separate the top 3 of Josh, Aiden and Softy. And some breaking news that Josh unable to make tonight. Once again, our title favourite is absent, which opens the door wide open for the drivers behind. James also in this title race, just 10 points back from Josh, and Bullet a further 5 behind him. So the top 5 separated by 15 points at this early stage of the season. So we're here at Canada, a circuit where Dan and Ben have won a record 5 times each. We're here now for the 30th season, where Softy will be looking for his 3rd win of the season, Bullet looking for his 2nd, and Matt, who we welcome back, looking to get his 1st win on the board. So I'm unable to be joined by my co-commentator John this week, unfortunately. So you will have my lovely voice for the next hour and a half. In John's place, I've got some stats from our friends at Sayer Sports, so we'll be going through them throughout the coverage. But the Canada circuit, let's have a little look at what our drivers are going to be facing here today. So 18 laps, a 4.4 kilometre lap with 14 turns. The tyres are Hypersoft, Ultrasoft and Supersoft. Softy currently on the Hypersoft tyres. Currently the quickest guy on track, but only by 0.03 of a second. Bullet is then 0.3 clear of Matt, with Goings and Josh in the Red Bulls 4th and 5th. Josh in 5th, only yet to score 3 points, which all came in the first round of the season at Australia. So he's looking to get a good haul of points this time around, as Softy dives into the pit lane and will look for one final run in the closing minutes of qualifying. 3 minutes remaining in the session. We've got James currently down in 15th, who has notably started towards the back of the grid in some races. It worked out well in Bahrain, qualified 12th, deliberately backed off, but it gave him a good position for the race and was able to go on and win thanks to brilliant strategy from the Ferrari team. Dan the man, let's go on board with him as he currently lies 10th position. Monaco, 5 times he'd won there in the past, and then last week got a podium, a fantastic result, his first podium in quite a while. And Dan will be looking to go maybe a little better this week, maybe you can go for the 2nd or 1st places, probably not, but you know, crazier things have happened. So let's go on board with Dan the man, who's about to start his final lap of the qualifying session. The top 4 all currently still in the pit lane preparing to leave. Well, Pole has gone on to win 3 times in the 8 seasons on PS4, so it's not necessarily a position you have to be in if you're going to want to win this race. There have been 9 different pole sitters in the last 9 races as well. John, Will, Jack, Mike, Softy, Paul, Ritz and Jake and Odems all taking a pole each. So can we see maybe Bullet make it 10 from 10? Matt also would tick that box off as well. Dan the man, who normally bins it when I go on board with him, so far he's kept it clean, which is good to see. We do not like seeing that Ferrari in the wall. They've already had a lot of damage repairs this season. They don't need any more damage. So please keep it on the circuit. Let's not stick it in a wall this time. Softy then, the first of the front 4 to go out on track. He will be the first to cross the line. Bullet, Matt and Goings should all be leaving as we speak. But Dan the man has complete this lap. As we come down to this hairpin, a very tricky corner. Dan the man gets it just right though. Look at that, not touching too much curb and getting a good exit now onto this big back straight before the chicane. Of course, the Wall of Champions is your final corner before the start finish line. There's yellow flags here in sector 3. Shouldn't affect Dan too much. Maybe there's been an instant further ahead or further around the track. Let's see if Dan can get this Wall of Champions right. Of course, strict corner cutting here, so the drivers cannot afford to risk cutting the corner. Dan the man across the line, currently in 10th, takes the wide exit and stays 10th, just though behind Jack Pearson. And Josh in 5th has abandoned his run, so he will start no higher than 5th. Let's see then who else is out on track. Goings is now on his lap. Matt currently on a lap 2, and where's Softy around the track? He's going to be crossing the line a little later, so Matt's currently on that lap, as is Bullet. Goings, I think then, will be the first driver to set a lap time from the front 4 as Owen goes 5th, Aiden into 6th now. Of course, Aiden, joint championship leader with Josh, so it's a good chance for him, with Josh not here tonight, to actually go into the outright lead of the championship. But Softy, who's only 2 points behind, is in first, and Softy is out of the session, so Softy's done for. Softy won't be improving, as is Aiden, so it's down to Bullet, Matt and Goings to see if those 3 can take this pole position. Softy currently only 300s clear of Bullet. He won't be confident with that lap. Still quite a bit of time left that Bullet can surely take out of his rival and take that pole position here for Canada and make it 10 different pole sitters from 10 races. Well, as we watch now as Martin retires, Goings, as Dan the Man's gone 4th in fact, away from the cameras, Dan the Man's gone 4th, Goings then goes 5th, he's unimproved, so it's down now to Matt, who's, oh well, Matt's just lost a tyre. So it's down to Bullet now, who approaches this final hairpin. Can Bullet snatch pole position from Softy? The gap is only 300. Let's see if he can knock Softy, who's won the most races around here in the PS4 era. 3 wins. It's going to be down to Bullet. Only he is left to set a lap. Can he get the final chicane right? He almost takes a little bit too much curb, but he's kept it clean. A straight line to the exit, and he's bent it in fact. So Bulletproof will not be improving, and Mercedes will be a little cheesed off. They've got to repair their car for the Sunday. So there you go then. Softy has taken pole position once again. We're not going to have 10 different pole sitters from 10 different races, but Softy has put his Renault in the perfect position to try and take 25 points in this championship. Softy, who of course got his 30th pole position last week, that's now 31, starting to slowly move up the table in the all-time winners and pole lists. And as we wait for Bullet to ready up, we see that Softy and Bullet is going to be a tasty front row. Matt and Dan with a fantastic qualifying. Has Monaco just given him a big booster? Goings and Owen on the 3rd row. The 2 Scots and 2 Saubers of Paul and Aidan are 7th and 8th, with Josh, Martin, Jack, Mike, Smokey Chase and Jordan rounding out the top 14. And who's that in 15th? James O'Connor. Watch out for him in the race. Let's see if he can get a good points haul from there, who of course, remember, is only 10 points off the championship lead after 6 rounds, so he is going to be one to watch. But Softy and Bullet, hardly anything between them in the qualifying, and I've got to say, I wish Johns was here, because I'm already running out of things to say. Let's hope that in an hour and a half we'll be seeing a much closer championship than we already have, and it's already very close, which is going to be hard to do. Well, as you can see on the right, the grid is slowly lining up, cars appearing on the grid slots randomly. The drivers now are choosing their strategies, and I think the strategy is going to have to be Hypersoft to Ultrasoft. Not a massive amount of tyre wear here, but it's going to be a fascinating opening lap. And watch out for Dan in 4th. He's won 5 times here, remember, which is the same as Ben, a joint record for the pair of them. So then the closing seconds of this one. Keep an eye out for James at the back. Watch out for Bullet's move on Softy. No doubt it's going to take place into turn 1. Bullet's fantastic with his start so far this season. And the drivers now are preparing to go racing. Watch the TV screens then, watch those lights. 3, 4, 5, and they're out. And it is Bullet who gets a fantastic start yet again. He's already, I think, going alongside Softy into turn 1. The Williams of Matt is currently in 3rd, of Red Bull in the background going for a move, and Bullet has to cut the corner against Softy, and he's picked up a 5-second stop-go penalty for it. Bulletproof side by side with Softy. He won't have to see the position go down, but Softy leads, and Bullet with a 5-second stop-go penalty for cutting turn 1. Maybe he had to take evasive action from Softy, who he may have felt pushed him wide. As you can see, it is a front 3 of Softy, Bullet and Matt, as they were. Dan still 4th, Goings in 5th, but went a bit wide at turn 1. Owen in 7th, Josh 8th. The grid largely the same as it started off with. We're seeing a position change in the back. Smokey J's now to 13th as the yellow flag comes out, and looks like maybe he has had an incident, because he is now facing towards the back of the grid. But as you can see, it is going to be Bullet now looking to get past Softy. He's got to pull 5 seconds clear. He's going to be held up 5 seconds in the stops. Of course, all these drivers have got to make at least one pit stop. So let's see if Bullet can get a move here on Softy already. I think he's a little too far back to make a move into the chicane. It'll be a risky move to try it from there, but Softy should be far enough ahead to hold on to P1 for now. But it's going to be a long race for Softy. He knows that Mercedes is going to be in his rear mirrors right to the next pit stop. And now Bullet already looking to get a move into turn 1 as Josh has retired from the race. Is that going to bring out an early safety car or VSC? Softy for now keeps hold of the lead, but Bulletproof is going to keep this one going and not going to give Softy any time to calm down. So quickly, let's have a look at, we're trying to go back further down the field, but I haven't got the chance to. Josh is going to remain on 3 points after this race, once again in the wars. Really struggling this season in that Red Bull. But we watch Bullet now hunting down his rival Softy. Both these two drivers have a really strong chance of winning the championship. Bulletproof in the Mercedes this week. Unfortunately, Phil, who has just turned 30, making him probably the oldest driver in TGP1. He's unable to make it this week, as in the background looks like Goings has made a move on Dan the Man. Dan the Man, though, looking to go straight back at him again, up to the left side of them this time. They're going down to the hairpin. Watch out for Paul as well in the background, as Dan the Man goes a little wide. Can Paul now use that to his advantage? Dan the Man for now remains in 5th, but he's going to get a good move here. DRS not quite in play yet, but Goings will want to defend this position. He moves to the right, so Dan will have to go to the left. The two of them getting so close, side by side. And watch out for Paul again in the background, but Dan the Man for now has to settle into 5th place. Softy remains now second clear of Bullet, or 2 tenths now. He set the fastest lap of the race, so has slightly increased his lead. Dan the Man really looking to get back past the Red Bull of Goings. Paul McGee is just going to sit back for now, wait for his opportunity. Dan, you can clearly see the faster driver needs to get clear, and Bullet's picked up a 3-second time penalty. Again, that's 8 seconds worth of penalties, so Softy might not have. In fact, Matt is now right on the back of Bullet as well, so Matt's joined this fight. Matt now needs to clear Bullet. He won't know that Bullet's got these penalties, but he will need to clear him if he's going to mount a serious challenge to Softy's race-winning threat. Can Matt make a move on Bullet into the chicane, as Aiden has just passed Owen for 7th? Crucial for him. Matt goes up the inside of Bullet, a late move, but a fantastic one. And Matt now into 2nd place. Can Bullet fight back? It's going to be very close. Bullet's surely going to have a slipstream, and this time might have picked up DRS, or has Matt got it? Matt has got it, but Bullet will have the extra straight line speed. Will he have the ears to help him as well? Looks like he does. They're going to go side by side. Who's going to be the latest to brake? Who's going to have the brake balls? And the two of them do make contact, but it is Matt who comes out second best, and Bulletproof is now only 3 tenths back from Softy, despite appearing to lose time in that chicane. So Softy really struggling here, as now look at this. You've got Bulletproof trying moves all over the track. Softy really struggling on these set of tyres. They're only 4 laps in. Of course, an extra lap in qualifiers meant he's on 5 laps on these, but Softy really struggling here. Bulletproof with 8 seconds worth of penalties. Probably could feel he can pull away and pull 8 seconds ahead. But this is, for now, the best battle on track. The front 3 separated by less than a second. Bulletproof just 3 tenths back from Softy. Matt a further 4 tenths back. Will we see Bullet try and move this time around? Will Matt be there to take advantage if it doesn't quite work out? We've seen many incidents through the years that the Wall of Champions is not called the Wall of Champions for nothing. It's got meaning in F1 and TGP1. Softy, a champion himself. Bullet not. Maybe he's safe from that Wall of Champions just yet, or maybe it's a sign that he could be a real one this season. This time, will Bulletproof get close enough to Softy to mount a serious move into the chicane? Softy knows it. He defends the right, pulls back to the left, and Bulletproof will fancy his chances then with extra speed then, because Softy lost a lot of speed there, and you can see it. Bulletproof about to go side by side with Matt right behind the pair of them. Watch out for the 3 of them. Softy just about with the inside line. Gets very close between them. Bulletproof and Softy, this is brilliant. Still side by side, a little bit of contact, but that's what you want in racing, isn't it? Softy now is down to 2nd place. Bullet's into the lead. And now can Matt make a move on Softy, as Softy hits the wall? That is not the thing he needs. It could be damage to his car. It could mean a front wing change, which would wipe away the 5 seconds that Ball's going to have anyway for his penalty. But it is the battle of the front 3. You can see Goings is now 5 seconds back despite this battling. And Paul himself is about to make a move on Goings too. He's got DRS this time. Surely Goings will defend it this time around. There's not going to be enough room or enough space to get through. And for now, Goings does. We're going to have to go back to the front, because Softy again, fighting Bullet. It's all going on here. I had to take a break, but Jonas is not here. Where are you, Jonas? Softy, 3 tenths back, as Paul remains 2 tenths back from Goings. Will he try and move into the chicane? We'll keep an eye on that. Softy this time round. Can he make it back into P1? It's round 2. Softy goes to the right. Bullet won't bother defending it this time. And now the two of them side by side. Bullet dives into the pit lane. That's why he was not interested in defending that. And Bulletproof has picked up another 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I think his chances of the win are definitely gone now. Let's go back on Paul. Paul's also diving into the pit lane. A lot of cars then choosing now to be the time to make the pit. So Paul is elevated into 2nd position. Dan's in 3rd. Where will Bullet come out in the pit stop? He's already... in fact, Bulletproof looked like he was actually quite stuck there, but I think it was a little glitch on the timing screens. Bulletproof will exit in P10. He won't have any traffic, so he can start setting those laps now. Softy will have to come in this time round. As we look now, James up to 6th position, who's now looking to get a move on Martin. Of course, James started at the back of the grid. Doesn't want to afford to get any damage just yet. You can see what tyres he's on. He's only going a little further in this race than his rivals. And can James O'Connor get into 5th position? A Max Verstappen style drive from the weekend. James already into P6. 6-time former champion himself. Only won 1 race this season. But you can never discount James from a title push. And Softy surely will pit this time round. He's got to react to Bullet and Matt. They both came in. They're both setting fast laps, and Matt has just passed Sniper to retake 8. And hopefully now for him we'll have clean air. And Bullet, you can see, 5 seconds back from Matt, of course, having taken that 5-second penalty. So who will come into pit this time? Softy pits. In fact, they're all pitting, which means Paul will take the lead. James will go into 2nd position. And let's see how the Renault crew get on with Softy's tyres. And Matt's now picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So Softy might not necessarily come out ahead. As you can see, Matt's gone through already. Matt has gone through on Softy. Can Softy catch him back up down to the turn 1? He's not going to. He's going to come out just ahead of Sniper, thankfully for him. But he is going to come out behind Matt. So Matt is your new net leader. Softy into 2nd, but Matt does have a 3-second time penalty, and Matt is currently not 3 seconds clear of his rival. We also saw there that James has picked up a 3-second time penalty. So a lot of drivers being very naughty today with the cuts. And as I say it, Dan the Man wants to join and get his TV time. He picks up a 3-second warning too. So, closest battle on the track. Looks like we've got Owen catching Dan now for P9. All these drivers now having made stops. In fact, we're going to show you that on our television screens here. You can see the position changes. That's irrelevant because, of course, a lot of drivers are yet to pit. In fact, that shows that Sniper, Jordan, James and Paul are the drivers yet to pit. And there you go. So you can see that the front 3 only Paul's on the Hypersoft, so surely he will pit this time round. 4 seconds clear of James at the moment. Sauber looking strong in the constructors fight as we see Owen nearly losing it behind Dan. And Bulletproof is now into 7th position, so he crucially came out ahead of Goings and Co. As Paul chooses now to make his pit stop as we reach the half distance. So Owen, can he mount a challenge on Dan here? 2 drivers who have been here for quite a while. Dan the Man been here since season 1 and season 30, 7.5 years later. As we see now, it's not a Has, it's Paul coming out of the pit lane, and he has gone off. He's gone wide. Paul's gone wide, but he should still come out ahead of Dan. It's going to be very tight. He's going to be behind Goings now. But that for Paul there has made it very messy, and now he's got to keep it together. The tyres will be worn out as we see in the background. Now Owen's using this chance to get ahead of Dan. Up the inside, can he do it? I didn't think he has done it. Dan the Man is left to settle for P10. Owen with a brilliant move there, and James is out of the race. Was that? No. It looked like James's car had stopped. Dan the Man flew through him. But James, I'm told, is still leading the race, so I'm not sure what that was. Dan the Man, a bit of a fight there, no doubt seeing his teammate flying through him as James now makes the pit stop from the lead, and James has indeed left the session. As Dan the Man tries on up the inside of Owen, there's going to be no contact. It's fantastic from Dan. And Owen now, as we see many cars here, all battling for position. And this is brilliant. So then, Jordan is the last of the runners to pit. James has rejoined. He will look to get back in as soon as he can. We can see battles further down. This time, Dan the Man and Owen are going to go side by side again for the chicane. And he's gone through, Dan the Man, into P10. Well then. Can Dan the Man refight Owen? It's now P9 as the cars behind have made their pit stop. Owen and Dan giving us a fantastic battle here, with Paul just ahead of the pair of them. Yellow flags are out in sector 3. Is that an incident? Doesn't look like it, or if it was cleared up very quickly. As Matt now leads by 1.8 seconds, but remember, does have a 3-second time penalty, so would drop back to 3rd position behind Softy. James now has, I believe, rejoined, has he? He has. He's now in P5. Yet to make his pit stop, I believe. Should come in this time round as he looks to close in on better than Sniper. So Dan the Man, let's rejoin him now. Once again, looking to make a move on Owen. And Dan the Man, in fact, with Aiden behind him. So 3 cars here, and then the second voice in Martins joined the fight too. So we've got a 4-car scrap here. All for 8th position. Well, let's see how this ends up. Paul, Owen and Dan going side by side, and then Martin behind too. This is going to end badly, surely. Look at that, Dan the Man somehow squeezes through. The Force India has remained ahead. It's Owen who still lies 8th position. As we see in the background, the second Force India Martin looking to join on the fight. Behind Aiden, behind Dan, behind Owen as Martin runs a little wide. And Aiden, that's poor from Aiden. He lost the back end and seemed to spin into Dan. It looked a lot worse than it was. Unfortunately, I think there was a bit of lag at the moment, which will make that look a lot worse. But Aiden down to 11th position. Over his title rival Softy in second. This is not the result he needs in the push for the championship. So who have we got battling now? It's again still Dan and Owen. Dan and Owen continuing this mighty scrap for 7th position. Absolutely fantastic to see. Keep it clean, boys. Dan the man with the inside this time. And Owen is left to sit behind. And Smokey J's is our second casualty from the race. He's binned it. Dan the man for now keeps hold of that 7th position. Who else have we got battling? We've got Goings looking to make a move on Sniper. Can he get a move? Now with DRS, Urs and the slipstream. He goes left, he goes right, and he's going to get the move down surely now. Better than Sniper, I think, still yet to pit. Will he pit this time around? He chooses not to. Of course, started from the very back of the grid with James. Now we see Paul McGee in 6th position, who will be the next to approach Sniper. Got to keep an eye on Matt. Currently 1.4 clear of Softy, but needs to pull a further 1.6 clear. As I think the safety car is being deployed, which has just spiced this race up massively. Will we see any cars dive back into the pit lane? Drivers who are yet to pit, such as Sniper, can use this opportunity to make their stop and lose little time. So this is about to bunch up the field, which is bad news for Bullet, who had pulled 13 seconds clear on Goings, and of course Bullet still with an additional 8 seconds worth of penalties to be applied after the race. Well then, the safety car has come out at a crucial time. Will we see any of these drivers now come back into the pit lane? The safety car triggered by Mike's DNF, the third driver to bin it. And now good news for James too, who did rejoin and can possibly set, in fact he'll probably stay on the super soft tyres. But let's see if any of our leaders come into the pit lane. I don't expect they would. In fact Matt has chosen to pit, so I'm a little surprised by that. Softy also choosing to pit, so all these drivers are coming in, which means Bullet's coming in as well. I would have thought they all would have stayed out. Surely if any of these can stay out, maybe the top 3 know that if all 3 of them pit, it's a free pit stop, because they're all going to come out ahead of Goings still in 4th, and in fact they're all pitting. Goings chooses not to, so can Goings now get ahead of Matt, Softy and Bullet? Where are they on track? Only now they're leaving the pit lane. So Goings has already cleared Bullet, he's cleared Softy, and if he's quick, he can also clear Matt, but he's not going to. And he comes out in 2nd position, so that's going to spice it up. Matt, Softy and Bullet all pitting for new Hypersoft tyres. But Goings choosing to stay out and now sits in 2nd position, which could give Matt a massive boost to this race victory. So had Softy or Bullet stayed out, they would have been 1st, but behind them would have been Matt on much quicker tyres. But Softy, of course, just needs to be within 3 seconds of Matt. But now with Goings in between the pair of them, suddenly Softy's task has gotten a little harder. Goings is quick, but as we saw, the front 3 were able to fall 13 seconds clear on the Red Bull driver in the opening 12 laps. Well then, as you can see on the timer screens, a lot of cars choosing to pit. In fact, only Dan, Jordan and Paul and Goings chose not to, so the 4 of them obviously going for track position over a clean set of tyres. Dan now into 6th position because of it. Paul's into 4th, so that's just helped Paul massively. If Paul can get those tyres to the end and put up a good fight behind, he could get a fantastic result for Sauber team, which they do need, with Aiden now down in 10th, but also able to recover his race by picking up a new set of tyres. So then as we prepare, there should be another lap before the safety car comes in, so let's have a little look at some of our stats provided by Sayers Sports. Martin has won twice here in season 23, of course, with the bonus race being the same round. Martin did the back-to-back, taking wins at Canada. As we said earlier on, Dan's had 5 wins here, joint best with Ben, both former champions in the PS3 era, both picking up 5 wins during the PS3 days. So do we see anyone else choose to pit? I think Dan and James might have just done that, and you can see the Ferraris, they're gonna queue. Dan the man forced the queue behind his teammate, but shouldn't lose much time. In fact, it's James behind Dan, but with the slow pace of the cars, they should all catch up, as Owen also chooses as this an opportunity to pit for new Hypersofts. So it's only going to be Paul and Goings that are not on the Hypersoft. Will that hurt them? Especially Paul on the Supersoft as well. Is that going to hurt him in the closing laps? There's only going to be 5 laps to go when the safety car comes in. So it should be interesting to see how this one ends. So a quick rundown. Matt is your leader, but with a 3-second time penalty, so he's got to clear his rivals. Goings in second, Softy third, Paul now into fourth position after choosing to stay out. Bullet and Sniper now into fifth and sixth, a fantastic strategy from Sniper. Started on the back row, now into sixth position. In that has, so Aiden now into seventh, Jack eighth, Martin ninth, and Dan into the top 10 despite just choosing to pit for a second time this race. Will the safety car then choose this to be a time to enter the pit lane? It has. The safety car is in this lap. We're going to have 5 laps to the end, and we'll see if Softy can clear Goings quickly, because he knows it's got to be within 3 seconds of his rival. In fact, look at the change of position further down. According to the timer sheets, Martin has just been passed by Jack Pearson under the safety car, so I'm sure that can't be right. As we now look to go back to our battle at the front. That will keep a slow pace and choose to go at a crucial moment. The drivers now prepared to go racing for what's going to be a 5-lap sprint to the end. Let's see how this one goes. And Softy's out the race. Softy's binned it. I don't know what's happened there, but Softy has just binned it, and Goings has just picked up a 5-second time penalty. Wow. Well, as Matt chooses to go racing again, Goings has just gone to second position. But I don't think he's made a friend in Softy. I'm not sure what happened between the pair of them. As we see Bullet going racing with his fellow Scot, Paul McGee. Needs to get clear, but Paul suddenly into a third position. And Goings picking up a time penalty as well. In fact, Goings now leads the race. Is Matt chosen to let him through? Goings, suddenly, an instant with Softy, and now leads the race. Wow then, that's a crazy couple of corners. With 5 laps to go, we've got a shot leader in Goings, and I'm not sure what the penalties are. We know Matt's got a 3-second penalty too, so could Goings be on for his first win here? Softy, sensationally, championship leader, crashing out under the safety car. Are you kidding me on? Softy has pinned it, which means suddenly Aiden, down in 6th position, is about to extend his championship lead, and it looked so bad from earlier on. He's got to keep it clean though. He goes round outside of Sniper. Sniper breaks late. Aiden will be forced to take the cutback. And will he have a better straight line speed? He will. Look at that. The ERS, all of it helping him out massively there. As he pulls clear and ahead of his rival. Can Sniper react now? He'll go to the right. Aiden will defend the left side. Sniper with a better braking zone surely will take the position into the corner. Going still leads. Sniper and Aiden come close. And the pair of them nearly touch and nearly end at the wall. And look at that. Jack Pearson and Dan the Man through on both of them. Can Jack now make a move on Aiden? He senses blood as Goings continues to lead by 3/10 on those ultra soft tyres, those 9-lap old tyres. But look at this, battles throughout the field as James now into 11th position ahead of Martin. Huge drama here tonight. It looks like we're going to have a potentially Aiden leading the championship as a Sector 1 has seen the yellow flags again. This time I think it's Sniper. He's in the wars. He's down to 10th position. So has an instant with someone there as we go back to the front two. It's Matt against Goings for the race win. We know Matt has a penalty. We know Goings has a penalty. I'm not quite sure the lengths of each of them. So this could be the battle for the lead. Matt looks for the right. Goings isn't giving him it. Goings will have to force him left, and Matt now will look to go a little quick around here. Almost keeps an eye on the wall. The two of them get very close. They make contact. Matt forced over the grass, and now Bulletproof will use that to his advantage to get past Matt, and now possibly past Goings too. Matt's in fact down to 7th position. And now Bullet looks to take the lead of the race into the chicane. Surely not. And he's done it. Bulletproof from 3rd to 1st in 2 corners. Absolutely fantastic from him. Matt down to 8th position. So him and Goings getting together there. Paul now into 3rd place. Aiden into 4th remarkably. Jack and Dan top 6. Jordan's into 7th. And Martin now in 8th. As Matt chooses to make another pit stop. So he probably got damage from that incident with Goings. But Bulletproof, we have no idea who's going to win this race. Paul could be in for this win now, because we know Goings and Bullet both have penalties. But does Paul have penalties? We're going to find out in 2 laps time. So literally don't look away from any battle at the moment, because they're all here fighting what could be the win. Aiden could be on for the win, or for all we know. It's a shame we don't see that information as Paul looks to go for a move on Goings, but Goings, having already made contact with Matt and Softy, will not want to be Paul will not want to be looking to make a move so rash on Goings. What does Paul choose to do here? He chooses to settle back for now. He'll wait for DRS. Goings is now 2 seconds back from Bullet. Could Bullet potentially pull the gap he needs to in these final 2 laps if Goings is going to hold them up? He's on 10-lap worn ultra soft tyres. So Paul looking to make a move on Goings. Aiden behind his teammate. Surely Aiden won't try a move too silly. The Sauber boys won't be wanting that as Paul looks to wait for his opportunity. It might be better just staying in 3rd. If he hasn't got a penalty, Paul McGee could be, as DRS is now enabled at the right time. But I don't think he can use it just yet. Paul looks to the outside. Goings defends it very well that time. Paul, for now, settled for second, third. But Goings now 3 seconds back from Bullitt. Bullitt is very quickly pulling out the time he might need to do to win this race. Third in the background, Jordan in 7th, catching Dan. Dan hunting down Jack. Jan hunting down Bart, and Aiden right behind his teammate. So it's a great scrap here for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. You can see them all. Still so close with 2 laps to go. Paul on 9 lap old tyres. Goings on 11 lap old tyres. 9 and 11. Very worn there, you can see. As look at this, Goings makes a mistake, and Paul McGee getting very racy with Goings. Goings can't defend it this time. Paul McGee's through. Goings wants to brake a little later, but he can't do it now. Can Aiden get past on his teammate? Aiden and Paul, the 2 Saubers, 2nd and 3rd. Aiden takes ahead of his teammate. He's now 4 seconds back from Bullitt. These 2 fighting could be about to give Bullitt the race win. Little do they know, they might be on for it themselves, because they're 3.6 back from Bullitt, who we know has at least a 5-second time penalty, and there's yellow flags. Owen has binned it. He's our 5th casualty from this race. It's been a race of attrition here for the drivers. A very tricky track, and especially with that Wall of Champions, you know, very easy to get into the wall. But as we see, lots of battles down this field. With our final lap to go, this is the final lap dash to the end. It looks like Bullitt's safe to cross the line first, but so many cars here. Separate by such small margins. Dan on Jack, he goes for it, he goes on the inside. And nearly makes contact. In fact, I think they did make slight contact. Dan the man and Jack, as Jack now will look to go back clear. In fact, that's Jordan now looking to make a move on Jack himself. He's on the right side of Jack. Can Jack defend this? Into the corner as Bart picks up a 3-second time penalty himself, which could be crucial. Aiden has just picked up a 3-second time penalty, which means Paul McGee could now be in for this race win, unless Paul himself has got penalties. But we're going to go back to the front momentarily, because Bulletproof any second now is going to cross the line first, but we're not quite sure who's won the race. It might not be Bullitt. He's 3 seconds clear at Aiden, but we know he has a 5-second at least penalty to be added to his time. Goings will not make a move on Paul here, so we're going to go back to Bulletproof. He's going to come through to cross the line first at least. It might not be for the win, but for now he crosses the line. Aiden and Paul will cross the line 2nd and 3rd. Goings is going to get 4th. And it looks like Paul in fact has won the race then, as Dan the man crosses the line with 3 wheels. Wow. He'll come home 7th. Sniper will come home 8th. Martin's going to be 9th, just behind him. Well, that race had it all. Championship leaders in the walls. Dan the man in the wall. Not for the first time. And wow, what a race. Paul McGee, I believe, has just won his first race of the season for Sauber. In fact, it is a Sauber 1-2. Incredible. Bulletproof drops to 3rd then. 3rd position with the penalty. So it was obviously greater than 5 seconds. Paul Aiden coming home just under 5 behind the Mercedes. But Paul McGee with another win to his tally. A fantastic drive from the Sauber boys. In fact, it's a Scottish 1-2-3. I feared this day would come one day, and it has come. It's a Scottish 1-2-3. Let's hope we don't see many more of them. So then I'll leave you with your race results from Canada. Look at all those penalties. Wow. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I don't know what to say. Well, there you go, everyone. I'm not even going to try to explain those penalties. There's the result. Have a look. Wow. A lot of penalties here today. And we'll be back very shortly for the French Grand Prix. Back in a few minutes. Welcome back then. We are here for France. It's going to be the second race of the evening. As we prepare to go racing once more. And we have a few updates as well to the championship standings. So then, of course, the game doesn't always add 5-second penalties if not served during the race. So if we add those 5-second penalties, the game did not. Josh drops down to 7th and Bullet drops down to 5th, promoting Jack Pearson into the podium places. So your top 10 rundown is Paul wins the race from Aiden, a Sauber 1-2. Jack and Jordan, 3rd and 4th now. Bullet into 5th, Dan promoted to 6th despite finishing the race with 3 wheels. Josh 7th, Martin 8th, James 9th, Sniper 10th, Matt, Owen, Softy, Mike, Smokey and Josh round out the top 16. Well, Way's cheering on Paul and Josh today. John cheering on America, not sure why. And Jose wants to celebrate in his pants, he says. Well, Dan the Man says, Dom, did you have to commentate on that mad race alone? Yes, Dan. Yes, I did, and it was hard work. Need Jonas back next week, for sure. Well, as the drivers prepare to go racing then, we're going to the French Grand Prix, the second race of the evening. Paul knocking up 25 points to his tally. Aiden picking up a crucial 18 more than his rival Softy, who crucially just misses out on the points positions, coming home in 13th. Of course, the top 12 are awarded points in TGP, which has proved to make more grey battles, as we saw in that Canada race, throughout the field. Paul McGee appears to think he didn't win the race, but according to my screens, Paul did win the race, so well done, Paul. Even though you may not think you won the race, you did win the race, so congratulations on the win that you don't think you have. So Paul will be in for a nice surprise a little later on when he finds out he has actually won the race. Well, here we are then. We are at France. The second race of the evening. First drivers out onto track are going to be, it sounds like, it's going to be the Red Bulls, and it is indeed the Red Bull. It is going to be Goings who first goes out onto the circuit. Toro Rosso driver joins him. Of course, this is the first ever race at France, and Sayer Sports have given us a few stats about France. Let's have a look at it. Well, there are no circuit stats. Of course, this is a new circuit. No circuit stats to give you. Moving on to qualifying stats. No qualifying stats to give you. This is the first race of France, so there are no qualifying stats to give you. And finally, moving on to the race, well, there are no race stats, because this is the first race here at France, so no race stats to report. Well, there you go, that's for France. Fantastic circuit. And the drivers will be looking to claim the first ever French Grand Prix win in TGP. A reminder, turn your attention to TGP 2 tomorrow, as Mike and Aiden will be back in the commentary box to commentate on that epic title fight. And just like TGP1, the TGP2 title favourite is also absent, which means everyone behind 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th in the championship, who are all very closely matched, will all close up to the front. Lucas leads. Well, Goings is going to be first to set a lap. A lot of drivers going out now. This will be a lot of their first track time in a competitive league race. So this is going to be where it all counts for them. Paul and Aidan picking up a 1-2 in the last round. Paul McGee believes the game may have given him a dodgy penalty, so that'll be, I'm sure, looked at after the race. But for now, Sauber can stay smiling. And Goings prepares to start his first qualifying lap. He backs off at the final corner, maybe a little too much. He's now going to have not the best speed as he crosses the line to start his lap, but here he goes. He starts that lap time, and let's see a lap of France for the first time in TGP1. No. No. Lovely circuit, lots of runoff areas. And in fact, there's a Toro Rosso looking at the scenery. They want to see a little bit more of this circuit. Drivers are here twice this season, so they can save the scenery for a little later on in the season when they come back here for the 19th round. Goings looking to keep it clean. Look at this, the runoff area is quite severe. If you go off, you've got plenty of time to rejoin. You can see here, left and right, an instant here, and you're in the wall. So Josh tries to keep it clean. You don't want to run too wide, go wide, you lose a bit of time, get on the marbles. A few bumps on the outside of these corners too. Recently laid new surface, but there's always going to be bumps around a circuit like this. The Goings looks to keep it clean, a nice section of corners. This is probably my favourite corners of the circuit. And well, earlier today we did speak to Aidan, our current championship leader, after the race. As Goings goes quickest with a 1:30.8. Is that a good benchmark? Well, don't know. Not beaten here before. So this is going to be to see who is the quickest. Well, let's see what Aidan had to say before today.
We sit top in the constructors, and with myself tied top. You know, but we're not focusing on winning either at the moment. The best job we can do is finish as best of the rest, bring home maximum points as we possibly can for the championship. And the drivers and the constructors, you know, it's too soon to really be thinking about that at the moment. I think, you know, we have very good consistency in myself and Paul, so hopefully we can take that constructors home. But again, we know we're just going to take it race by race. Don't quite have the pace at Canada at the moment. Struggling setup wise there. But again, I think if the main problem for myself is qualifying, I think we can sort out qualifying. You know, we can set ourselves up for a good result in the race in Canada and in France and throughout the season, so hopefully we can make the gains there.
Well, that of course was recorded before Canada. Aidan wants to get a P2 in Canada, so for a circuit that he finds weak, a fantastic way to take 18 points out of your title rival. Softy now 18 points clear, sorry, Aidan 18 points clear of Josh, which means he'll be 20 points clear of Softy. Softy currently occupies a Renault 1-2 with 12 minutes remaining in the session. Jack Pearson having set a 1:30.0. We see James now in the Ferrari. Is he on a lap, or is this about him? I think he's about to start a lap. Let's go on board with James as he does a lap of France then. Currently sitting in 13th position. Yet to mark a lap time on the board. Finished 9th in Canada. Recently, Dan the Man seems to have had the edge over his teammate despite James taking the win in a fantastic second round of the season at Bahrain. But currently, James O'Connor finding it a little harder in recent weeks. And will look to get his season back on track here at France. Perfect chance to get back on. They always say, have a bad race, just wait for the next one. A perfect chance to start again, go again, and get those results. The good results will start to come as the top 6 will now choose to pit for their second runs. Gotta share a shout out to all the commentators out there. I don't know how you do it. I honestly don't. Softy then, currently just a 10th clear of his rival. We're going to go back on board with Dan the Man. Normally when we go on board with Dan the Man, he makes an instant, but he's coming into the pit lane. So I think it's pretty impossible for him to make an instant here. Slow and steady, that's it, Dan. Keep it away from those walls. That's the lane now, looks to go. I think he's going to return back to the pit lane too. I think Smokey and James are the guys to keep an eye out on. They should be completing their first laps now with Softy at 1:29.9. Currently a 10th quicker than his teammate. Mike in 3rd position, a fantastic lap from him. Aiden 4th as James chooses to pit, chooses not to finish his lap. Maybe he cut a corner somewhere. Maybe he lost too much time. So attention turns to Smokey as he puts his Toro Rosso. In fact, I think he starts his lap now, so he's starting his lap. The Renault dies out of the pit lane. I think that is Softy going out for his second run. Look at this, beautiful circuit. Good to see it now on the calendar. Locks up there, needs to keep it clean. Smokey yet to really put his foot down on this championship. Of course, finished 3rd in TGB2 a couple of seasons ago. Moved up to TGB1 with a little less success, but then took a little break and has returned now, looking to refine the pace he had a game ago. Smokey J's then down this first big long straight, passes Paul. Paul not in the way. Fantastic for a driver to see another completely out of the way and without impeding the lap time. Mike Noon currently about to start his second lap. Softy about to go around and start his second. And Smokey J is looking to mark his first lap time on the board. A 1:29.9 is the current lap to beat. Watch out for Bullet, who is yet to set a lap time. I think it's going to be between Bullet and Softy for this pole position. As I said, unfortunately, John could not make it tonight. I am told that Kim, our Danish friend, is ready to jump in, but unfortunately, there's no way I can possibly send him an invite. I am only the commentator. I can unfortunately not invite players to session, so Kim is unable to join me. Apologies for not caught onboard cameras, but as you can hear, a glitch sound effect makes it a little uneasy to listen to. Softy currently still with the quickest time. Let's go back on board with Softy now, who I believe is on his second run. Was that lift there? Maybe he's preparing to go again or dive into the pit lane. Get some new tyres on. Jack Pearson second, Mike in third. Still a fantastic lap from Mike. Really finding the time there. Bulletproof still sitting in the pit lane, still yet to leave and set a lap time. There's only 7 minutes of the session to go. This Bullet just waiting for the right opportunity, leaving it a little late, a little risky. As Dan the Man puts his Ferrari into P6. Let's see if Softy, if he's on a lap, can improve on that 1:29.9, a real good first marker. But Jack less than a tenth behind as Softy locks up. Locks up there, and will he dive into the pit lane? He will. So he'll choose not to finish this lap time as Paul now into second position, just 300s off Softy. Following on from that great race in Canada, suddenly now he looked to take pole position off Softy, and Softy really has been the man to beat in qualifying so far this season, the man with the most poles. Let's see if Softy's teammate Jack can upset the current front two, as the yellow flag is out in sector 1 and 3, and better than Sniper has binned it. He's down in 9th at the moment, the Mercedes driver. Unfortunately for him, he will not take any further part in this session.
Yeah, done now.
Well, I'm glad to say I'm joined by our Danish friend, Rebel Kim. And Rebel Kim, I'm not sure you're in the game at the moment, but Softy, I don't know if you saw the race in Canada, but binned it. And do you think maybe the pressure's getting to Softy, Kim?
Wait, give me 1 second. I just have to
apologies,
grab a
Kim.
cup of coffee. Wait.
Just apologising to our commentator Kim there. Kim, let me know when you're back as we see Jack dive into the pit lane again for P4. Kim, can you please turn down your video, please, Kim? We can hear it in the commentary. We can hear the audio in the commentary.
Let's slow down. Let's slow down.
Okay, well, Mike Noon starts now his next lap. He's going to go again. Can he this time get it right? Kim, the France Grand Prix circuit. Are you a fan of the circuit, Kim?
Hello everyone, and hello to the commentator Dom Smith and all the fans and the drivers as well. Dom, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Kim. We can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. I love this track. I think it's a very, very difficult track because I tell you what, the first 10 times at the second day I saw when I practiced this track, I was actually driving in way too far at the long straight there, and many I think have done that, but you have to train it really many times before it's going to be good.
Well, indeed, Kim. At the moment, Softy is currently the quickest guy, but Aiden is only 0.02 of a second behind Softy. It's very close at the front. So just 0.02 between the top two. Then Paul only 0.3 back. And Kim, I don't know if you saw Canada, but a 1-2 for Sauber, Bart, Dude and Paul. What do you make of that? Fantastic for the team, isn't it?
Yeah, I was not seeing all the race from start. I was seeing I was making some other working process, but I think the result is very good for Sauber, isn't it? And but I always have already been seeing some. I saw some of the start of the race. There was some issues there, wasn't there? So we have to please keep it clean in France Paul Ricard race, doesn't he?
He's got to keep it clean indeed, Kim. Softy, of course, binning it behind the safety car quite remarkably in Canada, which was a huge dent to his title hopes, unfortunately for him. And Softy suddenly finds himself in a real threatening position. Of course, with no Josh tonight, it was a fantastic chance for Softy to gain points on his rival, but he is currently quickest at the moment. And is Softy on a lap? Well, we can see many drivers out there now. As Softy now, I believe, starts his lap. So let's see if Softy can improve on that 1:29.942. He's going to have to make it quick because Aiden and Paul are chasing him down. The yellow flags are out in Sector 3. And Rebel Kim, I've got to say, Jack Pearson in 4th place. Jack Pearson is having a great night so far, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been a more constant driver. I've been driving against him many times, also last year and the last couple of seasons, and sometimes he makes some mistakes, but I think he's been more constantly in his race, and I think that's very good for Jack Pearson, and it's great news for him and his team. And we have I have a little interview actually with Smokey Jakes.
Okay.
He was calling me up actually after he went out of the Canada Grand Prix. He was really sad, and he think there should be a fine and everything to Mike Noon. But let's see that afterwards. Let's see that afterwards what's happening actually in the first lap there. But like I said, keep it clean because I think to be honest to you, Tom Smith, I think 5 people going out of the Canada Grand Prix in TB1. I think personally it's too much. What do you think, Tom? What do you think?
I have to agree, Kim. Of course, Canada, like Monaco, a tricky circuit. DNFs you expect to see, but I think a little scruffy from some of the drivers, Kim. And they'll both be looking to make it a little better this time as Jack Pearson comes round to complete a lap and goes quickest. Jack Pearson puts his Renault at the front to make it a Renault 1-2 again, but Jack just 200 clear of his teammate, and with 1 minute 47 to go, the pressure is applied to his rivals. Could we see Jack Pearson, who you raced before, Kim, in TGB2, take a shock pole here at France? Well, Kim, you've raced Jack Pearson before. Would you say he's a good racer? Would you say Jack's a good racer, Kim?
Yeah, for sure. When he has his good days, and I think also maybe many more people is practicing a little bit more this season, because I think the game also is getting a little bit better. There is for sure some issue with the safety car in the career mode and everything, but I think that people will train a little bit more and practice a little bit more, Dom, and then I think they'll be faster, wouldn't you?
Indeed, Kim, and as I say that, Softy's retired from the session, so Softy will not be on pole this time round. It's currently a Renault 1-2, but both Renaults have completed their final lap, so it's down to the two Saubers and Bullitt, who's currently in 12th. Yet to set a lap time, he might be about to spoil the Renault's party. Sauber, Paul and Aiden both looking to set the laps. Paul maybe with a little tow here from Goings ahead. Goings also on his lap, so both these drivers looking to improve on their current positions. It's currently Jack from Softy, Aiden from Paul, and Mike from Jordan. Mike in 5th position. As you said, Mike having an incident with Smokey Jays in the last race, which Smokey Jays wasn't entirely happy about. That'll be looked at after the race, but Paul maybe let's follow him for now as it comes around these final corners to try and complete his lap. Goings off ahead. Could that be a distraction? Will Goings pull out the way of Paul? As I said, both drivers on laps. Solane has retired from the session. Goings goes wide, and surely now this is Paul's chance. Hopefully Paul will not be distracted here by Goings. Goings has gone up ahead, and Paul McGee crosses the line. He doesn't know he slows down. Goings is out of the session. Paul doesn't improve either, so it's down to Aiden and Bullitt. Not quite sure where Bullitt is on circuit just yet, but it's down to Aiden and Bullitt and maybe Mike. The top four separate by less than half a tenth of a second. Incredibly close between the top four here. Aiden currently on lap as he approaches his final few corners in the final sector now. All eyes on Aiden and then Bullitt. Can Bullitt go quicker? He's currently in 12. Mike Noon's gone quicker. He's gone 2/10 faster than Jack Pearson. Mike Noon's gone quicker. It's on a 1:29.7. But can Aiden go quicker in the final corner? It's the final corner, sorry, Kim. Poor Aiden crosses the line and goes second. Incredible. He goes second behind Mike. So now we go to Bulletproof. Can Bulletproof beat Mike Noon and take off what would be a shot pole position for Mike? Wow, this would be incredible. Jink Bullitt can do it. Quickly, Kim. Jink Bullitt can do it. He's got a few corners to go.
Come on, Bart.
Kim's cheering on the Mercedes driver. Can Bullitt snatch pole from Mike Noon? Currently, it's a 1:29.7 that occupies the front position. Softy down in 4th at the moment.
Second.
You can see how close it is. Bardude in 2nd, correct. Now Bulletproof at the final corner. Can he go quicker than Mike Noon and go pole himself? He does by a tenth of a second, almost 2/10. Bulletproof is going to start from pole position, Kim. He got the lap just right. It's going to be Bullitt from Mike. And what a grid, what a race this is going to be, Kim. I can't wait.
I cannot wait. I have to. It's going to be a cracker, you know, and Jesus Christ. And here become Bulletproof. What can he do? Oh, he done it, Dom, he done it. He done it.
Wow, Bulletproof's done it. Bulletproof has taken pole position. What a lap there. Thank you, Kim. Bot Dude will start now, 3rd position, championship leader, remember, but crucially ahead of Softy in 5th, Paul 6th, Dan 7th, watch out for him in the race. Softy qualifying on the super soft tyres. Maybe that explains his time differences. But Goings in 9th, Smokey J's 10th, Sniper 11th, Martin will start 12th, Owen and James. Once again, James at the back row for the race, so James choosing not to qualify. Wow, what a lap from Bullitt, Kim.
I think that was a Bullitt shooting out at that track, wasn't it?
That was absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
And if you can say that. So, and
well,
I'm well sorry, Dom. I cannot go in and help you with the at the moment with the what is going on. I can only see what is going on the screen. Because
no worries, Kim. I will ask you for the reaction, so you can watch the stream, Kim, and I will ask you for your
so
reaction.
I cannot go in and, you know, like I used to and help you, because...
No worries, Kim. Well, the grid is now ready. We're about to start the race. No problem, Kim, no problem.
Yeah.
It is the French Grand Prix, and don't forget, Kim, you're just behind me, so of course I will be seeing the start a little before you do, unfortunately, but I will ask you for your reaction of the start very shortly. So, Bulletproof then, on pole position. Let's see if he this time can claim a victory here at France. So we get ready then. 5 lights And it's lights out. Away we go. Bulletproof gets an excellent start. Mike Noon also getting a good one. Bart Dude looking to get ahead of the two ahead. He's looking at one of those currently a Scottish 1-3-5. Softy down in 5th, needs to get clear as Aiden into 2nd position already ahead of Mike Noon. And look at that bullet going wide, as does Jack. Jack ahead of his teammate. Will Jack pull out of his teammate's way? We see the two runners looking racy behind Paul. Sorry, Aiden. Aiden currently 2nd position as Mike Noon looks to get clear of him. A Red Bull off in the background. That is Goings. Can Softy get ahead of his teammate? He's going to want to do it quickly because Paul is also right behind him as we see Mike and the McLaren slightly ahead of these three. Going off a little wide. Can Softy make a move on Jack Pearson for 4th position? 13 laps this race. The tyres are the Super Soft and Ultra Soft as we see now. Softy wanting to clear his teammate. Will we see team orders so early in this race at Renault? Jack knows that Softy is more of a threat to him than this win, or then again, is he? Jack did out-qualify Softy, so maybe Jack feels he's more of a threat, and so early in the season, are we going to see team orders? Surely not. But Bulletproof has a 2nd lead, and Kim, Bulletproof got the start he wanted, didn't he?
Yeah, he's still in front, and I can see he's have to be really aware of his petrol. You know, this track Dom is a petrol eater. You know, and so the drivers actually here have to really be aware of the capacity of the petrol, also the load of the battery.
Well, Paul McGee is now just 3 tenths behind Softy. Softy also still looking to clear his teammate. His Bullet now only 5 tenths clear of Aiden, so Aiden sticking with the Mercedes driver. Softy runs wide, really struggling in that corner. But the Turano still 4th and 5th. Mike still occupying a fantastic 3rd position. If he can get a podium, it would be a brilliant result for him and the team. McLaren really yet to get any sort of luck this season. But Bart Dude now, for the first time, finds himself a 2nd back from Bulletproof. We're seeing action further down. Let's go to your friend Smokey in 11th position, fighting Owen at the moment for a top 10 position. Of course, Owen, as Smokey Days almost loses it. In fact, he does lose it. Forced to go across the circuit there. And won't be threatening Owen just yet, as now Goings looks to make a move on Better Than Sniper for P8. He's too far back here, though. Won't be able to make a move just yet, but he tries it. He still tries it.
Oh, it's going wide, yes.
Yes, unfortunately, Smokey J is going wide there.
I have some news for you, Dom. He
yes,
has not
Kim.
trained this circuit.
Okay, so we've not trained this circuit. As in the background, we see James O'Connor looking to clear Martin Diver for P11.
So
Softy has passed his teammate for 4th, but we stick with this for now. Sorry, Kim. It's James trying to fight Martin for P11. These two good friends off the circuit and on it. And will we see James clearing him soon? But as we see battles throughout the field, so it's hard to pick one to follow. Softy now just 3 tenths off Mike. He'll want to clear him soon. As Paul also looks ahead of Jack going racy with his teammate again. Might not want to get past just yet. We didn't see the move. It was off camera, so we're not sure if it was team orders or not. But as we see, the car's also close, and the Ferrari of Dan the Man chooses to make an early pit stop on lap 3 as Bullet now 1.5 seconds clear of his rival. Let's see if Paul can get close to Jack. Let's see if Jack can get close to Softy. Can Softy make a move as Jack goes very wide, taking the Softy line? Maybe Renault knows something we don't. As Mike Noon picks up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting.
Look at that train.
It's big, isn't it? And once again, Jack Pearson goes off. The Renault driver really struggling. Paul will want to clear this soon. As we see Mike Noon now starting to hold up Softy. Softy getting very close to Mike Noon, and with now DRS, Slipstream, and a bit of those two. Will we see him close the gap? Mike also has Slipstream. Softy moves left. Mike won't defend it too harshly. And this should be an easy position for Softy to take P3 if he's late on the brakes, which he is. And takes the position from Mike. Mike down to 4th now. And let's see if Jack can get a little closer. Jack once again goes off the circuit, really struggling here. The tyres appear to be going, and well, Bulletproof 2 seconds ahead. Kim, do you think Bulletproof's got this in the bag, or are the others behind going to catch him up and beat him?
Yeah, but you still have to manage his petrol use and his energy use. So it's not about the steering wheel you have to drive. It's also you have to also to drive with your brain actually. Manage your petrol correctly and manage your battery correctly. So this is stunning. Dumb.
Indeed it is, Kim. Indeed it is. As we see Owen, Martin and James in their own little battle now for 10th, 11th and 12th. So battles, as I said, throughout the field. This track proving to be a popular one. As Bartu chooses to pit, as does Mike and Jack. And Mike's picked up a 5-second time penalty, crucially for speeding in the pit lane. So 5 drivers choosing to pit then from the front 10. which elevates these drivers up a few places. And wow, speeding in the pit lane, Kim, it's not a clever thing to do, is it?
If I can come with a commentate at the speeding in the pit lane, I can tell the viewers, Tom, that you only have to drive 60 kilometers into the pit lane. That's not much. So you come in and you drive very hard to the right, and you really only have to actually, like we say in Danish, thrill into the pit lane, because otherwise you will get a penalty, won't you?
Indeed, as we see Martin go through on his team at Owen. Not a difficult move, and the Force Indians have swapped position. It looked like it was racing. Didn't look like Owen was letting him through, but yeah, Kim, have you ever done that before? Have you ever sped in the pit lane?
No, I have not been spinning in the pit lane yet. So the only issue I have with this track is the long straight DRS zone there, where I the first 10 times, like I said before, I drive into the left turn. We come to see it here. Look.
Oh,
look.
Who's that? That's a Sauber. It's Paul. I think, is that Paul?
Now you have to brake, and then this is the right turn. I many times have drive into the turn before, and you. And Dom, I must say, you don't have to be colorblind here, won't you?
No, Kim. Well, whilst that happens, Softy now leads with Bullet coming into the pit lane. Bullet's picked up a 5-second stop-go penalty for again speeding in the pit. Something he did in Canada. So Bulletproof might have just thrown away this race win yet again. As we see Aiden or Paul even making a pit stop. Look, Paul might have gone off the previous corner. Maybe he just lost it or be in contact with someone. But Martin, Owen, second and third. Kim, you're racing in TGP2 tomorrow. What's your strategy going to be, Kim? Tell me your strategy. What tyres are you going to start on, and what tyres are you going to go to?
Oh, we have a spun, Dom. Sorry.
Don't forget, you are behind Kim. You are behind Kim. That's Paul McGee. We see the Sauber driver. That was Paul McGee. I'm not quite sure what happened, as James makes an excellent move on Owen for P3. Fantastic stuff here. Can Owen go back at James? James in a Force India sandwich. Martin's 10 seconds back from Softy, so Softy in his own little space at the moment. And Softy should come out around Aiden and Bullet in 56.
I ask on your question, Dom, I will see
of course.
the tyres. We'll see the tyres. Oh, he's gonna... Yeah. No, what?
What's happened,
colours.
Oh.
It changed colours. Okay,
well,
that's the history. That's the issue. Okay. There was yellow, and then okay. They get red.
Well, this is history. This is
history.
No problem.
We have seen that before when Red Bull Cam was driving behind the safety car and the safety driver was crashing. So no problem.
No problem.
No, Dom Smith. My strategy for tomorrow is actually a secret.
Well, Kim is not giving away his secrets, which is a shame, because I was going to copy Kim, but he's keeping that secret, and for good reason too, I think. Well,
I have been driving this, maybe about 80 laps today on this track, so I have been practicing today, so...
Very good, Kim, very good.
It's quite... yeah, like I said to you, I have my Waldemar was here in my on vacation here last week, and I was driving the Monaco, and I get two issues. First of all, I sweating so much, so I cannot see anything. In my glasses was ducking, and then I get cramp in my left foot, so I could not brake. So, but even though I managed it, so it's actually this is actually for the viewers, Tom. For the viewers, they think, no, this is just a game. No, it's not just a game. Those drivers we have here in TGP1 and TGP2, this is some of the best in the world actually. So it is quite hard, and you know it yourself actually.
Of course, Kim. Of course.
How hard is it?
It's very hard, Kim. As Softy continues to stay out, he had to make his pit stop. James now chooses to pit. Will he be another victim of the 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding in the pits? He's not. Let's see how quick the Ferrari mechanics are as he goes on to the soft tyres. No front wing change needed here. Yep. And James, where will he rejoin? Bullet now into fourth position, ahead of Aiden. Only just though. Aiden and Bullet very close. Sorry, they're not very close. timing glitch there.
This
Only
is
close
still
foul
the
moment.
train. This is the train is who is remaining, isn't it? The train in front there with the drivers and here we have who do we have here?
Well, we've got Martin and Owen fighting in second and third, the two Force India teammates, and Kim, as teammates, do you think drivers should be able to race each other at this part of the season, or should they keep it clean and just, you know, use team orders, Kim? It's only round 8 after all.
First of all, I'm a fan that if you cannot race without team orders, you are not a racing driver, aren't you? So I was, if I was have been Valtteri Bottas, the other, what race was that? 2 races ago, they said to him, you have to let Hamilton.
Well, thanks, Kim. Kim unfortunately is had to leave. So back on board with Dan the Man, who's just behind Goings, fighting for 7th position as Owen continues to race his teammate for P2, with the top 3 yet to make their stop. Softy going long in this race. Of course, Softy did start on the super soft tyres, so he's going to come back at his rivals in the closing stages of the race, like we saw James do in Bahrain. But Bulletproof with a 1:32.8 sets the fastest lap of the race. When will Softy choose to make that pit stop? When will the Force Indians choose to make that pit stop? Of course, the Force Indians can't both pit on the same lap, as we see Owen now fighting Martin for track position and potentially first call on pit stop. So, with 5 laps left to go in this race, Softy has a 14.6 second lead, but crucially about an 18-second gap over Bulletproof, who has made his pit stop. So let's have a little look at the intervals between the lead. As you can see, Aiden 22 seconds back from Softy. So Softy trickling out between Aiden and Mike, but of course will have to pressure tyres as we see another move between the Force India drivers. Owen this time goes ahead of his teammate, and Martin is demoted to 3rd position. The two Force Indians getting very close, and I'm not sure Otmar would have wanted to see those two get any closer. This is just allowing Bulletproof behind. You can see he's got a bird's eye view of this. The two Force Indians getting racy. Could this potentially impede Bullet behind? Bullet's going to close up on them as Martin looks to got the inside this time. Thinks better of that one. Can't afford to make silly risks like that, and he chooses the wise choice. And is that a bit of rain on the screen? Did I just see a little bit of rain on the screen? I think it is. I think it's starting to rain. Maybe this is why the front 3 are staying out so long. They know that rain is on the way, and with 4 laps to go, this race has just been, look at it, it's pouring it down. And suddenly, Softy with a 16-second lead, who hadn't made a pit stop yet, might just have won this race as Dan the Man picks up a 5-second penalty for gaining a position off the circuit.
I'm back.
Hang on, Kim,
Tom.
no worries, no problem. Bulletproof into P3.
You know, my PlayStation was going out.
Well, Kim, breaking news here, it started to rain. It started to rain with 4 laps to go.
Yeah, okay, wait,
Bulletproof's
yeah,
into P3.
Okay.
He's going to make a move on now for 2nd place. Hang on, Kim. 2nd place, Owen is about to be down to 3rd as Bullet goes through. They make contact. But Bulletproof just about takes the position. Of course, Bullet, having made his pit stop, the first of the runners to make a pit stop, and Goings is out of the race. He's had a crash. Is it getting slippy out there? I think it really is. These drivers starting to struggle. As Owen and Martin, the two Force Indians, are now both going to want to pit for intermediates. Of course, Kim, and they're going to have to queue. The Force Indians might have to queue. Will Softy choose this to be the time to pit? Look at it. The rain's starting to come down much quicker now. Not sure if these drivers knew the rain was coming, but if they did, I'm surprised more didn't start on the super softs. But wow, is Softy going to choose to pit? You can see him struggling a lot here. He's got to pit for intermediates, surely.
Dom,
yes, Kim. Yes, Kim.
Dom, I tell you what, it's the men who have 20 centimeters below the navel on your stomach. It's about who have those, who's the biggest, and I will not tell any more details about that. But but who's that? People who have the biggest balls, who stay out here and
Softy.
Try to see what they can do.
Softy has chosen not to pit for intermediate, so he doesn't think it's ready yet. He's going to stay out, and I suppose why not? He's got a 16-second lead,
But
such a lead that is. Bulletproof doesn't pit. Owen does pit, so is Owen going to go onto the intermediate tyres, or maybe even the full wets? Let's have a look. Surely it's got to be the intermediate. It is the intermediate.
It's not intermediate.
Well, Owen thinks it is.
Think.
Owen's going for it. It's a huge risk. Will it pay off? I suppose he couldn't really pit the softs. He would have dropped down to about 10th, 11th. Might as well take the risk. But Owen, the first of the runners to make the call for the intermediates, the only runner so far. In fact, I think Jordan might be coming to the pit lane as well. It looks like He-Man just fitted some Ultra Softs. Kim, what do you make of this?
Technical. One thing you can do is to go to rich. No, not rich. Sorry. Lean. Go to lean and then go to low energy use, and then you drive at the lowest level, and then you will not have so much wheel spin when you're driving with slicks in rain.
Well, let's see how Owen does on these intermediate tyres. Is he closing in on the guys in front? He's currently 44.6 off Softy. So what's that gap? Do you think it's too soon, Kim, to make this call?
We have him here. We have, who is that? Smokey Jays? No.
Smokey Jays is down in 12th currently.
Who is that? It's Owen. Huh?
Well, Softy once again chooses to stay out, so he is waiting for him to get heavier before he makes his call. If he pitted now, he'd come out in around 4th and 5th between Aiden and Mike, which is obviously not where he wants to finish in this race. He's waiting to see what the rain's going to do as it makes up its mind. It's not quite wet enough yet as Owen is finding out.
This is going to be interesting. He cannot hear us, I think, but if he keep it on lean and he keep it on, keep his face down, and on those slicks here, he will maybe win the race.
Well, Martin, his teammate, has gone on to Ultra Soft, so he doesn't think it's wet enough. How about Dan the Man? What does Dan the Man go for? He goes for intermediates, but of course is serving a 5-second stopgap penalty, which he did not need, as he looks at also got intermediate tyres. But Softy still on the Super Softs. Kim, do you think it's wet enough for Inters yet? Do you think it's wet enough?
I think it's. I think I see the weather forecast at the moment. I cannot see why they not should stay out on sticks. It's not too much. It's not so much rain, so you have to go to the intermediates.
Well, is this a circuit you like?
What's happening here?
Is this a circuit you like?
This is a repair. What the Ferrari?
I think that's Softy, the Renault, currently quickest.
But one of the biggest problems he can have, we see him now go out on a long straight now, actually, I think, and
Softy pits, Kim. Softy's pitting. And he's going for the intermediates.
One of the issues can be the braking point at the long straight there. He has to brake, and maybe a little bit earlier.
Well, Softy rejoins behind Bullet, but Softy is gone for the Inters. Will it be a wise decision? Hayden's in second. Mike now should go into third. It's going to be very close between him and Softy.
It's going to be really interesting. This one done. It's going to be really interesting what he can do. Yeah.
Split strategies. 2 laps to go. Kim, who's your money on?
Oh, what?
Oh, it's getting really well there, Kim. Getting really well. I think Softy might have just called this right. DRS is disabled. It's now too wet for DRS. So I think Softy's looking good here, Kim.
He's going into... Yeah. Okay. And now we're here...
Ooh! Bullet's gone way wide. Bullet's really struggling, and he's picked up another penalty. I think it's too well there, Kim.
Yeah, the penalty is 5 seconds there, you know, Dom. 5 seconds there, 5 seconds there, you know. Corner cutting, speeding in pit lane and everything.
Bullet's really struggling, Kim.
Many seconds, actually.
Bullet's really struggling on this track at the moment. 10 seconds clear with a lap to go. Does he choose to stay out? Ooh, Kim, what would you do?
It's going to be a cracker, this one, Dom Smith. It's going to be a cracker.
Softy's coming. The gap down to 8.6 seconds.
Jesus Christ.
Oof. What happens, Kim, when you're having a good race and the strategy gets thrown into the air? What do you do? Do you panic, or do you take advantage of the opportunity?
No. I actually go in to see. Oh, he's off. He's off. I think he'd get a penalty there. He must have. No, I go in and see my tires. How worn is my tires? The front tires, in case of the rear tires, and then I adjust my braking point. from front to rear. Actually, that's a secret, but now you have it. and then I just put it on lean, and then I just keep my head down and yeah, try to get some points.
Soft is only 4 seconds, I think. Back from Bullet now. Bullet with a bunch of time penalties, Kim.
Yeah. I have another interesting thing I will say to you in this race, Tom. This race we have only 3 people at the moment. No, two people going out. That's good to see. That's
wow.
Also the fans want to see, you know, Tom, and the viewers. In Canada, I think there was.
Oh, Softy's gone wide now.
Yeah, he's struggling a little bit.
Here we go. Final sector. Softy's about to make the pass for the lead, surely.
Oh, he shall also be careful about corner cutting penalties and everything.
Bulletproof really struggled on those super soft tyres. Softy, I think, has just gone through on the final corner to win the race.
When you're driving in this condition, it is actually
Softy wins, Bullet.
Brain,
Softy wins from Bullet.
Your brain. Sorry.
The race is over, Kim. Softy's won it. Bullet's come home second. Bart Dude in third. Can Owen potentially catch Mike ahead? As we see, Mike now on Aiden, in fact. Mike going for the P3 at the end. Both of them on super soft tyres, both struggling. Who's going to get the better traction? Aiden blocks the right, a bit late there. Mike Noon has lost it. And he nearly bins it at the end. But Aiden will keep third. And wow, what a battle that was. Let's see if anyone else can catch. Dan Man also pitted for intermediates. Kim, what a race.
It's good points, isn't it?
What do you make of that race, Kim? Kim, unfortunately, sounds like he's gone.
Yes, I think. Yeah, all the drivers today here have look how wide they are going, and they have done the best they can do. And but now here you see you have a battle here. Tom, what's happening here?
Well, it was Dan and Dan and Martin, which Dan did take from Martin at the end, and takes the 9th position. So the intermediate tyres were the right tyres in the end, and Softy takes the win. A fantastic race, Kim. What do you make of that?
Yeah, that's I must say that's we have talking a little bit about strategic here tonight, Dom, and I give some advice also. He cannot for sure hear it, but it's about to keep your head down, get the right decisions in the team, try to drive not so aggressive, try to keep the car on the road, and that's how you get winning positions, isn't it, Dom?
Indeed, Kim. And as that completes the race, there you can see Softy winning, Bullet with 22 seconds worth of time penalties. So not the race he would have wanted.
But Dom, can you manage to? We have this time try to, when the race is full over, get how many penalties there is actually.
There's a lot, Kim. There's a lot, that's for sure.
Just so we can show the viewers that not that is bad, but the drivers maybe next time will maybe cool a little bit down before they hit the pit entrance, not corner cutting so much and everything. But we also have to tell the stewards, the viewers, Dom Smith, haven't we, that we have tonight we have the corner cutting on stretch. That's the highest punishment you can get. You have really not to cut any corners. Isn't that right?
That's right, yeah. Exactly right, Kim.
Will it also be so tomorrow when I have to drive?
It will, Kim, it will. So yeah,
Okay.
Softy and
Dom, can you not make something tricky so Rapper Kim not get in to have any?
good one, Kim. Good one, Kim.
Yeah,
Well, anyway,
you know my humor.
it's all good fun. Kim, any final words?
I think congratulations for the winning driver and the two number 2nd and 3. They done the right decisions here tonight, and that was a great race and with the really tricky conditions, wasn't it, Dom?
It was tricky, but we saw some fantastic racing, and the championship has just hotted up. 2 more race winners tonight, and it's been a fantastic evening in TGP1. So we're back next week, Kim, for the next 2 rounds of the season. So from me and Kim, no problem. Goodbye.
No problem. See me tomorrow. And Dom.